Skipping class is something we've all done, and don't act like you haven't. You may have skipped class before because you had a test you weren't ready for, or because you hate that teacher, or maybe you have a sub in that class that's really annoying. But me personally, I did it so I didn't have to present a presentation, and this is how I did it. This story takes place my freshman year, back when Drake and Kanye were beefing, Trippie Redd still made good music. Everything was chill about that year. The only thing that wasn't chill was French. The worst language anyone could ever learn. French was one of those classes where I hated it so much, but I didn't hate it enough to skip it. The only reason I was taking that class was for the credits. As much as I hated it, I would never skip in that class. You know, I'm a good student, but the only reason I did it this time was because my career was on the line. So basically, we had to do a group project. And I'm not against group projects, but the only problem with this project is that we had to present it to the whole class, which was something I was not about to do. Cause one, I had mad anxiety back then. And so presenting in front of the whole class wasn't really something I was trying to do. And you're probably thinking, yeah, but you wouldn't be alone. Which is true, but something that cancels out that factor completely is how bad the presentation was. Not my part of the presentation, of course, you know, I'm a good student. But while working on the presentation, I would look on the other slides that my teammates were working on, and these slides were complete cheeks, bro. There was words that weren't even spelled correctly. The facts about France wasn't even right. Like, my teammates are literally lying in this project. So I had to think of something, and I had to think of something fast. I could just act sick on the day I have to present, but my parents are too smart for that. And it's not like I'm about to skip class, right? I had to skip class, but I had no idea how to. I don't know if I had to stay in the bathroom or if I just sneak in another class. So I decided to ask a friend for help, and he said I could just skip in his class. And I was like, bro, that's a stupid ass idea, bro. Are you dumb? What do you mean skipping your class like your teacher's not gonna say anything? And it's not like I have this teacher in a different class or something. It's just a random teacher I don't know. But he was like, bro, trust me, bro. You'll be fine. And I did not trust him at all, but it was either his plan or present that presentation, and I'm not doing that. So we made a plan on what to do on the day I'd have to present. And the plan went like this. I had to present the presentation on a Wednesday. And the way our classes worked, I would be in French every other day. And since I had to present on a Wednesday, that meant I had one more class before I had to present. And I decided to use that day as a test day to see if the plan would work. The plan was that me and my friend Steven, who was also in that class, would both ask to use the bathroom at the same time. Our classes were in the same hall, so after that, he would go to the bathroom and leave the door wide open so that I could sneak in and then just stay there for the rest of the period. At the time, I thought this plan was genius, but looking back, this plan sucked, bro. There's so many problems and holes in this plan, but who made this? But anyway, the day arrived. He texted me that he's ready. I raised my hand and asked the teacher, "Aller est toilette?" She said I said it wrong, but it didn't matter because I still went to the bathroom. I left the room and plan was in action. I arrived outside the class, opened the door, the class looked at me, I closed the door, and go to the bathroom. I don't know why I thought that plan would work, but I'm not gonna act like it was all my fault, because this nigga Steven left the smallest crack possible so that when I opened the door, it would make a loud, and then the whole class would just look at me, all because of that sound and not like a whole new person just walking in the classroom. He's so old, man. On Tuesday, I was talking about it with my friend. I was panicking hella because I didn't know what to do, but then he came up with a new plan, which was better, I guess. The plan was that I would just go into his class instead of going to my class, since his teacher usually comes to class late, which it was a good plan, but my teacher would usually stand outside of class when it was transition time, and since his teacher usually comes late, an admin would usually come and unlock the room for them, which meant the whole transition I would have to stand outside, where my French teacher could literally see me standing outside another classroom door. But again, I did not want to present, so I just went with it. And on the day we did the plan, to this day, I don't know if she saw me go into that classroom, but I hope she did. Anyways, I walked in, sat down next to my friend, and waited. And when I tell you this dude's teacher was late, she was late. And like, it was like 10 minutes into the class already, she still wasn't here. But then when she arrived, I'd immediately just put my head down. because I knew if I looked at her, she would have called me out. And then I would either go to the office or just go back to class. And then I started getting uncomfortable, because you can't really put your head down without your neck hurting. Or at least I can't, I don't know. And eventually I just gave up. And then I just started sitting regularly. And then nothing. The teacher didn't say a word. Which, by the way, her desk is literally like facing me. So the fact she didn't notice a whole new person raising their head up, it's kind of crazy. Like at that point, like, why are you even teaching? But I'm not complaining. My friend was like, bro, just relax. I promise she won't look at you. Which, after witnessing what I just witnessed, I fully believe him. I'm starting to see why he wanted me to go to his class so bad. It got to a point where I was just watching TikTok. And then this nigga, Steven, started talking about, oh, do you know what's gonna happen if you get caught? Which is honestly a good question, because I did not think about that prior. Like, maybe if I get caught, they'll call my parents or something, but I know they're not gonna do that since it's my first time. And then my friend next to me said that he remembered something, and the way he said it, he looked shocked. And I was like, what? And then he said, I don't think I should tell you. Which, I don't know why he said that, like that wouldn't make me even more curious. And so I said, just tell me, because if it's something serious, I really think I should know. And then he told me that he remembered that one of the consequences for skipping was getting suspended. And I was like, what? You're telling me if I get caught, that not only will they call my parents, but I'll get suspended? When I heard that, my heart dropped, because I knew if I got suspended for any reason, it's over. So then I started panicking. But then my friend was like, bro, chill. It's fine. If she notices you, I'll just say you're an exchange student. Long story short, I left. I don't know what he was thinking. And the walk I did after class was the most depressing thing ever, because I knew shortly that after I opened that door, I would have to present to class with like 3 other people. But it didn't matter, because at the end of the day, I sold. I'll walk into class and see nobody there. Alright, it wasn't like nobody, but it was like 3 other people, like dead ass. And then the teacher asked me where I've been. And I said, no, how about you tell me where the rest of the class is? I didn't say that. I just told her I got lost and she didn't really do anything. You could tell she didn't really want to write me up because she's not the type of teacher to do that. So she just let it slide. And she told me that so many people skipped this class that we're gonna present Friday. And not only did so many people skip that class, literally everyone in my group was absent. So they basically ditched me, even though I ditched them first. Also, around this time, our school had a big skipping problem, which is why 90% of the class is gone. And even though I folded, I'm honestly glad I did, because if I skipped that whole class and then I showed up on Friday, I would just have to present anyway, and everything I've done would have been for nothing. So yeah, new plan. Well, not really a new plan, it's just plan 2 without selling. So yeah, I go to his class, put my head down, watch TikTok, and wait. And not gonna lie, after what happened on Wednesday, I felt confident, way too confident. Cause halfway into class, I stopped putting my head down. I'm talking to the people around me. I start joking around, pretending doing work. Like I'm basically part of that class at that point. And one of my friends in that class goes to the bathroom. And when he comes back, he starts knocking. But like nobody was opening the door. And since the door was right next to me, I was scared that the teacher would get up and then on the way to the door, she notices me and then kicks me out. So instead of that happening, I had the genius idea of me getting up and opening the door. And the moment I got up, I hear a voice behind me say, "Leave my classroom right now." And I left immediately and went straight back to my class. No, I didn't. I just went to the bathroom because I seriously did not want to present. I did not go through all of that just for nothing. So I went to the bathroom and I hid inside of a stall. The plan now was just to wait for lunch, because after lunch we just go straight to the next class. And everything was going good. And then all of a sudden, I hear not 1, not 2, but 4 different people walk into the bathroom. And if you go to high school or just any school at this point, you know if you get caught in a stall, it is over for you. But I knew if I just stayed quiet, I'd probably be alright. So I waited. Is that mango? These people were vaping inside of the bathroom. I heard them passing around the cart, but hey, I can't even get mad because at least the bathroom smells nice. And eventually they all leave. And now it's like 5 minutes before lunch. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. And then I hear footsteps walk into the bathroom. And I'm not talking about regular footsteps either. I'm talking about the footsteps that a teacher makes when they walk in. And I hear those exact footsteps getting closer and closer to my stall. And then they get to the point where they're standing right in front of my stall. They see my feet, I see their feet. At this point, there's like less than a minute left. So I decided to just gamble it. If I open the door and it ends up being a teacher, it is what it is. I open the door, and it's the friend that planned the whole thing. and the footsteps I heard was his Air Forces. The lunch bell rang, we went to lunch, and I finally skipped French without selling. And take a wild guess who I saw at lunch that day. All 3 people in my group, all sitting at a table together. Like, I know that technically I can't really get mad, but it still hurt. And that's how I skipped class for the first time. And then I came back on Monday, and I had to present anyway, but if you enjoyed this video, please support me on Patreon. Listen to Utopia, follow me on Twitter, bye.